In this video, I'm going to show you how to copy a query from one report to another. This is something you may want to do quite often in Power BI. For example, what we're looking at here is a data table I've created in Query Editor, and it was quite a lot of effort to put together, and what I'd like to do is simply copy that from one report to another to save having to kind of recreate it line by line. So let's see how to do that. It's actually very simple. If you go over to Query Editor and we call up our date table, and if you go to Advanced Editor, here I can see all the M code that was used to create my date table. Now if I select all of that code and copy it and go over to my blank report, go to Edit Queries, and I'll create a new query under the New Source option. If I choose Blank Query and now go to Advanced Editor, I can simply replace the code in there by pasting over it. Now that throws me an error, but I know why. I'm just going to call this dates to give it a name. Now the reason why it threw an error is because actually my dates table in the original file actually references a company table, which you can see in Query Editor here. We've got the company name, the financial year end months, and the company ID, and the dates table is picking up this financial year end months to enable it to calculate the fiscal year information. So we also need to copy this information or this query into our report. Then we can adjust it as we need. Again, I select a new source, a blank query, Advanced Editor, and I can paste that information in. I can rename the query companies. Let's see. Oh, originally it was called company. Now I've called it companies. So I'll just change that. So having renamed companies to company, query has now resolved itself and it's working properly. So I can choose close and apply. And after refreshing, I can see in my data, in my new blank Power BI report, I've got the company table and I've got the dates table. Now obviously if I just wanted the dates table and didn't want to depend on a company table, into my query for the dates I could hard code the company information that I have there. So very simply, to cut and paste a query from one report to another, go to Query Editor, open up the Advanced Editor, copy the code in your new Power BI report, go to Query Editor, create new query, and open the Advanced Editor and paste the code into there and save your report. And some final points to note is that all we've done is copy the query from one report to another, but it doesn't copy other things that you might have done with that data table. For example, in the original dataset, I had told Power BI that the date table was a date table. I'd turned off the auto-summarizations on any columns that had auto-summarizations set, and I had also changed the sort order of some columns. So for example, I modified the sort order of the months to sort by period. None of those things will copy across because all we're doing is copying across the query. So you will need to go in and set those things up the way you want them in terms of the auto-summarizations, calling a date table, and modifying any sort order, and to make sure that you set the relationships for your new copied table in your report correctly.